All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to pop the hood on our own biology and take a look at the body's incredible internal control panel. We're going to figure out how some of the most powerful medicines out there work by, well, essentially just flipping the right switches on and off.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about that? 1 second, you're totally calm. The next, your heart's pounding, you're breathing fast, and you feel this surge of energy, all without you consciously doing a thing. And then, just as mysteriously, one little pill can tell your whole body to just stand down. How on earth does that work?
Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight. It's all thanks to this remarkable system that acts like your body's own autopilot, managing all the critical stuff completely in the background.
It's called the Autonomic Nervous System, or the ANS for short. And that autopilot analogy, it's perfect. This is the ultimate automated system. You don't tell your heart how fast to beat or your lungs how deeply to breathe. The ANS just handles it, making thousands of tiny adjustments every second to keep you going.
Okay, so to get this, you gotta understand that our nervous system is kind of split in two. You've got the somatic system, that's the voluntary stuff, the part you use to decide to, pick up your coffee. But then there's the autonomic system, our autopilot. That's the part that works all on its own, controlling things like our internal organs, and that's what we're gonna focus on.
And this autopilot, it basically has two main modes. There's the rest and digest mode, that's your parasympathetic system. It keeps everything chill and running smoothly. But then you've got the fight or flight mode, the sympathetic system. This is the emergency override. And to really understand how these drugs work, we need to zoom in on this fight or flight response.
So, if fight or flight is the system, how does it actually get turned on? To see that, we've got to zoom in even closer, from the main control panel right down to the individual switches that make it all happen.
And these switches, they have a name: adrenalic receptors. Think of them like tiny little keyholes on the surface of cells all over your body. Your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, they're just sitting there, waiting for the right key. And the drugs we're talking about today, they are designed to be those keys.
Okay, let's look at the 3 most important switches for our story today. So picture an emergency. Your body flips the alpha-1 switch, which is on your blood vessels. That constricts them and jacks up your blood pressure. At the exact same time, it hits the beta-1 switch, right on your heart, making it beat faster and harder. And to get more oxygen for all this action, it flips the beta-2 switch in your lungs, which throws the airways wide open. Each switch has a very specific and very powerful job.
So now that we know the switches, let's talk about our first type of drug. These are the agonists. And if you want to remember what they do, just think they hit the gas pedal hard. So what is an adrenergic agonist? It's basically a copycat. It's a drug that mimics your body's own natural fight or flight signals. It finds one of those receptor switches we just talked about, it binds right to it, and it stimulates it. It basically shouts, "Go!" at the cell.
And the process is actually beautiful in its simplicity. The drug molecule, the agonist, floats up to its target receptor. It docks perfectly, like a key sliding into a lock, and turns it to the on position. And just like that, the cell gets its marching orders and carries out its fight or flight job.
The classic example here is epinephrine. The stuff in an EpiPen? It's like a master key. During a severe allergic reaction, you need a hero drug, and that's epinephrine. It's non-selective, which means it hits all the emergency buttons at once. It hits alpha-1 to get blood pressure back up, beta-1 to get the heart pumping strong, and beta-2 to open up those closing airways. It's a lifesaver.
Okay, so we've hit the gas. But for every gas pedal in a system, you absolutely need a brake. And that brings us to the complete opposite class of drugs, the antagonists. Their whole job is to pump the brakes and slow things down.
Antagonists, which you'll often hear called blockers, do the exact opposite of agonists. They're designed to find the same switches, the same receptors, but instead of turning them on, they just jam the lock. They sit in the receptor site, blocking it, so the body's natural go signal can't get through.
Imagine the receptor is a reserved parking spot. The antagonist drug just pulls right in and camps out. It sits there, taking up space. So when your body's natural fight or flight signal comes along, ready to park and activate the cell, nope, the spot's taken, the message is blocked, and nothing happens.
And this, right here,
is where pharmacology gets really smart. See, the first beta blockers were non-selective. They'd block the beta-1 receptors in the heart, which was great for high blood pressure, but they'd also block the beta-2 receptors in the lungs, which can be really dangerous for someone with asthma. So newer drugs were designed to be selective, to be like a sniper rifle instead of a shotgun, hitting only the one switch you want to target.
Atenolol is a perfect case study for this. It's a selective beta-1 blocker. Its entire mission is to go directly to the heart, find those beta-1 speed-up switches, and block them. The result? The heart rate slows down, blood pressure goes down, and it leaves the beta-2 switches in the lungs alone. It's a much safer, much more precise tool.
Okay, so let's zoom back out for a second. Because when you understand this whole world of switches and keys and blockers, you also start to understand something that affects pretty much everyone who's ever taken medication: side effects.
There's a line from our source material that just nails this perfectly. It tells us that side effects aren't random. They're often the logical, totally predictable result of a drug being non-selective. In other words, it's hitting more switches than we intended.
And here is the big aha moment. A drug's side effect is often just its main job happening in the wrong place. Remember that old, non-selective beta blocker? Its main effect, slowing the heart by blocking beta-1, is what we want. But its side effect, constricting airways by blocking beta-2, is what we don't. For a patient with asthma, that's a dangerous side effect. But when you look at the science, it's completely predictable. It's not a mystery at all. So, when you boil it all down, it looks something like this. Both of these drug types have risks if they go too far. Agonists, the gas pedal, can overstimulate the system and cause a dangerously fast heart rate. And antagonists, the brake, can overblock the system, causing a dangerously slow one. It's always a balancing act. It's really incredible when you think about it. This level of understanding of our body's own control panel lets us create tools to manage everything from blood pressure to life-threatening allergies with amazing precision. Which just leaves you with one final question to chew on. As our ability to design even more selective keys for these biological locks gets better and better, what new possibilities are we going to unlock? What other conditions will be able to fine-tune and control? The future there is pretty exciting to think about. Thanks for tuning in.